For 3 hours on Texas Interstate, a silent dance took place between Danny Rodriguez and UFOs. But when the dance ended, Danny's life would never be the same again. Welcome to Shelley's Mysterious Files. Today's story is about a 3-hour chase game that took place in the Texas desert. But in this game, it was never clear who was chasing whom. Let's begin. Danny, thank you for being here with us to share this strange night. Could you introduce yourself to us a bit?
Of course, Shelley. I'm Danny Rodriguez, 47 years old, and I've been working as a long-haul truck driver for 23 years. That night, I can say thank God my life was spared. I still get goosebumps when I think about that night.
Before you tell us about that night, have you ever seen such strange things during your trucking career? Have you ever encountered such incidents before?
I've been on the roads for 23 years, Shelley. I've seen all kinds of strange things: meteor showers, northern lights, military aircraft formations. But what I saw that night was nothing like any of them. At first, I thought they were normal lights, but then everything changed.
Can you tell us where you were that night and how your journey began? What was your route, and what were the weather conditions like?
On the night of November 15th, 2024, I was driving from El Paso to Dallas on Interstate 20. It's about 630 kilometers, normally takes me 6 to 7 hours to cover. The weather was very clear, there was a full moon. Around 11:30 p.m. I was passing through Midland. The truck had a new sound system, country music was playing.
What did you notice first? How was the moment when you felt this unusual situation began, and what went through your mind at that moment?
I was driving on miles of straight road. There was no other vehicle ahead of me. Suddenly I saw 3 bright lights behind me in the rearview mirror. They were forming a very regular triangle. My first thought was, is it a police helicopter? But there was no sound coming from anywhere. I turned on my CB radio and asked other drivers.
When you spoke to other drivers on your CB radio, could they see these lights too? What kind of reactions did you get, and how did this situation affect you?
This is where things got strange, Shelley. When I called on the radio, normally 4 to 5 drivers would respond at that hour. No sound came that night. The radio was working, there was signal, but it was as if I was the only one on that road at that moment. There was a 4-wheel pickup behind me. I flashed my lights at it, but the driver acted as if he couldn't see me.
When did you realize that these lights were starting to follow you? How was this moment of realization, and how did it make you feel?
About 20 minutes later, I reduced my speed from 90 to 70 to test. Those lights slowed down too. Then I increased to 100. They sped up too. That's when I realized they were following me. My stomach turned. My hands started shaking. I've been trucking for 23 years, but I had never experienced anything like this.
Can you describe the movements of the lights in more detail? What kind of pattern did they have, and how were they different from normal aircraft?
It was very strange, Shelley. Sometimes they were in triangle formation, sometimes they lined up in single file. The strangest thing was, when I took side roads, they turned with me. No aircraft can make such sudden maneuvers. Also, there was no sound at all, no engine noise, no propeller sound, nothing.
How long did this chase process continue, and what else did you experience during this time? How did your emotional state change?
It lasted exactly 3 hours, Shelley. We passed Big Spring, Colorado City, Sweetwater together. In the first hour there was fear, in the second hour curiosity, in the third hour a strange feeling of connection. It was as if they were trying to communicate with me. Strange frequencies started coming from the radio.
How were these sounds coming from the radio? What kind of frequencies were they, and how did you interpret them? What was the reason for thinking they were trying to communicate?
At first I thought it was static noise, but then I realized it had a certain pattern, like beep, 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 long, beep, beep, long. It wasn't Morse code, but it seemed to have a rhythm. The strangest part was, when these sounds came, those lights also started flashing. It couldn't be a coincidence.
Did you encounter other vehicles during this 3-hour experience? How were the reactions of other drivers, and could they see these lights too?
I encountered very few vehicles that night. There were 2 to 3 trucks coming from the opposite direction, but they seemed to notice nothing. I stopped at a gas station once. The UFOs stopped too. I asked the pump attendant, "Do you see the lights in the sky?" The man looked at me as if I was crazy. "What lights?" he said.
When you stopped at the gas station, What was the UFO's reaction? How did they behave in this situation, and what did you feel?
The moment I parked the truck, those three lights stopped right above the station. They maintained their triangle formation but seemed to descend lower. While filling up at the pump, I felt pressure on me, as if they were watching me. I filled up quickly and left. The UFOs moved along with the truck.
What was the most surprising and frightening part of this incident for you? Which moment affected you the most, and why?
The most frightening moment was when I heard a strange voice from the CB radio. It wasn't a human voice, but it was saying words. Danny, Danny, follow. Important, they said. They knew my name, Shelley. How could this be possible? Until that moment, I might have said it was coincidence, but now I was sure these were intelligent beings.
What did you think about them mentioning your name? How did this situation affect you, and how did you react?
To be honest, I was about to cry from fear. I'm a 47-year-old man, a Vietnam veteran, but I felt like a child at that moment. What do you want from me? I shouted into the radio. The answer came, show, truth, people need know. It was as if they wanted something from me, giving me a mission.
How did you understand the message, truth, and people need know? What do you think they expected from you, and how did you think about this message?
I think they wanted me to be a witness, to tell this story to people, to make their existence known. But I don't know why they chose me. Maybe because I travel a lot. Maybe because I know many people. Or maybe I was chosen completely randomly. Who knows?
During this 3-hour chase, did you observe any changes in the UFO's behavior? Did they exhibit different behaviors at different stages?
Yes, there were very clear stages. In the first hour, they were cautious, kept their distance. In the second hour, they came closer, started making more active movements. In the third hour, it was as if they had reached a decision. They were moving more orderly, more determinedly. It was as if the evaluation process of me had been completed.
How did the moment when this chase ended occur? How did the UFOs leave, and what did you feel at that moment?
When we approached near Abilene, the city lights started to become visible. The UFOs suddenly increased their altitude. One last time from the radio came the voice, Danny, remember, tell people. Then all three quickly ascended and disappeared. It was as if they had never been there. I experienced a very strange feeling of emptiness.
Were there things that changed in your life after this experience? Did you feel any difference physically, mentally, or socially?
Of course, yes. The first change was that I started to be afraid of driving at night. I had been working night shifts for 23 years. Now I try to work during the day. I also started constantly scanning the sky. I get tense every time I see any light. I started having insomnia problems.
When you told your family and friends about this experience, what kind of reactions did you get? Did anyone believe you?
My wife was very worried at first. She wanted me to see a doctor. My children approached with suspicion, but they had never seen me lie, so they believed something happened. Some of my work colleagues laughed. Some said they had experienced similar things.
Did you talk to other drivers who had similar experiences? Did their stories have similarities to yours?
Yes, we talked at rest stops. A driver named Jake had experienced something similar in Colorado. He was also followed for close to 3 hours. A female driver named Linda also had such an experience in Arizona. We all have common points: long chase, radio messages, sudden disappearance.
What do you think about these common points? Why might they specifically target truck drivers?
I think it has to do with us covering long distances. We cover a lot of area. We know many people. We tell stories. Maybe we become the best witnesses. Also, we're very alone at night. They say no one believes us, but we know the truth.
Have you experienced such an encounter again after that night? Did you receive any signs or messages?
I saw lights 2 more times, but they weren't that close. Once a very faint voice came from the radio saying, Danny, but I'm not sure if it was real. Maybe I made it up in my mind, but I still feel like I'm waiting, as if this isn't over.
What do you mean when you say, as if this isn't over? Do you think they're still in communication with you?
Sometimes I feel that way, especially when I'm on very lonely roads. I feel like I'm being watched. At first I thought I was going crazy, but then I realized maybe this is normal. Maybe they're still around us, we just don't see them.
How did this experience change your views on UFOs and alien life? What did you think about these topics before?
I was skeptical before. I would say nonsense to UFO stories. But now I know for certain that there's something out there. This technology is far more advanced than ours. I now know for certain that we're not alone in space. People think too narrowly.
What is the most important lesson this experience taught you? What is the most important message you want to share with people?
Being open-minded is very important. We shouldn't immediately reject things we don't understand. I'm a 47-year-old man. I don't see hallucinations or anything. What I experienced that night was real. People need to listen. Maybe they really are trying to communicate with us.
How do you feel when you share this experience now? Does talking about this topic relieve you?
It's both relieving and difficult. Some people will think I'm crazy, but it doesn't matter. That night they told me, tell people. Maybe that's exactly why I'm here. Maybe this is my mission, to tell the truth, to warn people. We need to be ready.
When you say we need to be ready, ready for what? What do you expect in the future?
I don't know exactly, but something will change based on what I felt that night. They're not just observing. There's a plan, there's a purpose. As humanity, we need to be ready for this communication. Instead of being afraid, we should be open to learning.
Have you contacted experts who research this topic? Have you taken any steps to have this experience recorded?
Yes, I reported to MUFON. I also met with Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a UFO researcher in Dallas. She said she had encountered similar cases. My trucking company also kept records. There are GPS records. Maybe it will be useful someday.
Do the GPS records show normal, or was there any abnormality that night?
This is the strangest part, Shelley. The GPS lost signal for 40 minutes that night. It normally never cuts out, but 40 minutes of that 3-hour period is missing. It's as if that time period never happened. Even the company couldn't explain this.
What do you think about this 40-minute missing time? Do you remember what happened during that time?
I don't remember that time at all. The last thing I remember is hearing the voice follow from the radio. The next thing I remember is approaching Sweetwater. There are no 40 minutes in between. Maybe I was on their ship then. Maybe I was in another dimension. I have no idea.
Have you considered trying hypnosis therapy or other methods related to this missing time?
Dr. Mitchell suggested hypnosis, but I'm scared. What if the things I remember are worse? What if there are things I don't want to know? For now, I want to wait. Maybe when the time comes, I'll remember on my own.
Are you afraid of experiencing a similar encounter in the future, or would you want to encounter them again?
I can say both. On one hand, I'm scared. It was a very intense experience. On the other hand, I'm curious. What did they want? Why did they choose me? If they come again, I want to be more prepared this time. I'll take a camera with me.
Finally, what advice would you give to people who experienced a similar encounter?
Don't be afraid. They're not alone. Let them record what they experienced, take notes, apply to organizations like MUFON. Most importantly, don't stay silent. These stories must be told. Maybe when all the pieces come together, we'll see the big picture.
Danny, thank you very much for sharing this incredible experience with us. I'm sure your courage will help other people.
Thank you, Shelley. Maybe this was my real mission. That night they said, tell people. Here I am telling it. Maybe this is just a beginning.
What do you think about this 3-hour UFO chase that Danny experienced? Is it coincidence that truck drivers experience such encounters, or is there a reason? Let us know in your comments. See you in the next video.